Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another live episode of Jacob's Ladder. I'm your host, Jacob Israel, and I'm very excited that you've joined me today. I hope that you have smashed the like button like Medic has, like Jennifer has, like Kara has, like Robin has. Thank you for coming. This is quite an exciting time to be alive, don't you think? Don't you think? Woo! 6 months, 6 days in between. A video I did about an astronaut ritual that was coming our way and the astronaut return that just happened. But that's not all, my friends. Oh no! We have quite the show to get into today. Let me just announce this. We have a lot to discuss. This show should be shouted from the rooftops. Very excited. I'm very excited. I don't know if you remember, but a portal has opened. We talked about this just recently, the St. Patrick's Day portal that I talked about on the show. It was very fun and exciting. And, man, I have been riding, we'll say, the heavenly train since that day. I don't know, it's like a burden's been lifted. It's like I'm finally waking up, you know? What an exciting time to be alive. All right, so we got a lot of things happening. Before we get into the stuff that happened with SpaceX, and do me a favor in the live chat right now, let me know if the sound's okay, so that, you don't miss anything. Portals. It's a weird word, right? Well, a portal is just simply a door. It's an entryway. Isn't that right, Kat? Thank you for the super chat, and Tammy for the super chat. Ooh, people are excited. You all feel it, right? Anthony's been listening since 2016. I'll tell you what, I'm glad you're here because there are a lot of weird things happening. So, I do this video. It was, just a couple of days ago, right? What's that, March 16th? Day before St. Patrick's Day. I made the connection because I had visited this salt cave in Port Jeff. If you haven't seen that show, just go to my YouTube page and click on it and watch it. But I told everybody that the portal's opening. And now here we are. What's today's date? 3 days later? 3 days. The portal, the cave, it opens up, and who comes out after 3 days? Well, in this case, it's a post from McDonald's talking about a portal opening. Come on, Jacob. Now it's just getting silly. God's just showing off. God's just showing off. And we're just getting started. I feel like we can't fail. I feel like I don't have a care in the world anymore. I have to be honest with you. I'm a changed man. All right, so take a look at this right here. And you see my video from the 16th, 3 days ago, and now McDonald's posts. And they say, if you know, I don't like when people take words and shorten them to letters. I don't like it. People do this all the time now, and I don't even know what it is, so I have to go, what does this mean? Do you find yourself doing this? There'll be 3 letters in a row, and you're like, well, I don't know what these words mean. And then Grok's like, oh, it means your message is too long. I didn't read it. Someone did that to me. I was like, what do these letters mean? But anyway, McDonald's says, if YK, if you know what portal has just stepped through, text build. Oh, interesting. We're talking about stepping through a portal, and now all of a sudden, we hear of the McDonald's portal, Bernadette, with the super chat. Is it just me, or does that seem like a little on your nose, a little sus? I'll say it's a little wonderful. Wonderful. Now, you know who pointed this out to me? A fellow Israelite. Hills has eyes. She does this a lot. And then she pointed out to me, she goes, 4-1, the bottom left-hand corner, April Fool's Day. And I said, of course, the portal is opened. But what does that mean for two different sets of people? Because we just talked about this, right? In the end, when the judgment comes, when the books are opened, it's in Revelation 20, the book of the dead, when the dead are judged, happening today. Like literally. Like Elon's talking about it with Social Security. Oh my gosh, look at all you here already. This is great. Smash the like. Let's get some more people here, huh? I'm excited. Okay, I said, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. Now, if you're new to the channel, and I hope that you are, I hope that you've decided to subscribe by now. I hope you did. And I hope you check the bell for notifications and that you share these videos around, because I've been talking about Grimace for a while. And take a wild guess, what portal opened up? The Grimace portal. That's what it was. It was the Grimace portal. It was Grimace the whole time, which is, appropriate for the day we're in, because Grimace, I've covered, started off as known to be the evil beast. That's right. Grimace was like the evil beast. That was Grimace's name, the evil beast. He had 4 arms, too. It's a picture of that, like, beastly nature, that carnal nature, that, like, you're going to be left with a Grimace. Grimace is a sad face. It's like, you're like, oh, I don't want that to happen. Or it's like a maniacal laugh. Either way, that portal is what McDonald's was talking about. I talked about that portal, too. I said the door of reward and correction, it's open. We're going to see it more and more in our lives as the days go. You're going to see. It's a good thing, especially if you're a kind-hearted person. 3 days later, the portal. What did he just step through? And then you see center stage, it says the Grimace portal. And then you look at the bottom left-hand corner, it says 4-1. That's April Fool's Day. Now, a lot of people say that it's April Fool's Day because that's really the first of the year, because life begins. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something bigger. Who cares, right? Say, April Fool's Day, the fool says in his heart there is no God. Grimace is walking through for the fools. Get it? If you're a fool, you're going to be grimacing. But if you're wise, like the other half, it's funny, you get the virgins, right? The virgins, you got, and you got equal amounts on either side. One of them has the oil, one of them don't. At the midnight cry, right? When the bridegroom comes, that's that blood red moon, the worm moon that we just had right before I went into that salt cave. That's the midnight cry. That blood red worm moon was that's the darkest it can ever get. From that moment, it just gets better. Tonight, just so you know, we're halfway there. Tonight's the night where the light overtakes the darkness. Woo! Did I break your speaker on that one? Tonight's the night when the light takes over the darkness. It's going to become more and more apparent. You're going to see. Now, Grimace showed up for whatever reason in this guy, Representative Josh Shriver's post. And, well, you probably see what I wrote. I said, oh, this is a test. I said, I don't know this man, but I dare say they may be grimacing soon. Anyone know anything about him? But then I thought to myself, take a look at that black and white checkered floor like the chessboard, right? And I think, I wonder if it's just like you're going to see some grimacing on the Senate floor. And then what? Not like an hour later, guess what happens? Another guy turns out to be a horrible monster, abusing children. He was actually a guy who came against a president, like did some kind of bill or something. I don't know. I didn't do any research into him. People that are going to try to pay to have relations with children, not somebody that I'm going to look into. But I'll say he's grimacing. He's grimacing. Today, Dan Bongino. Gino was like my best friend growing up. Gino. Eugenio is actually his name. I grew up in a very poor part of very, very wealthy town, right on the border of a really terrible place, Port Chester, New York. Now I live right outside of Port Jefferson. It's interesting. I'm around ports my whole life. Gino Bongino. I was thinking about Gino today. He's a good friend of mine from back in the day. So you don't want to mess with me. He's Italian. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. He's a great guy, and he's at the landscaping company. He's awesome. All right. So Dan Bongino says today's the 19th. It's the 19th, right? And he says, it's a bad day to be a bad guy in America. You don't say. Could it be that the portal has opened? Is it possible that the portal has opened for the good and for the bad, for the righteous and for the corrupt? Day of judgment. Day when Christ manifested in the earth. Manifestation of the sons of God. Grimacing. You know, I've been fooling around a little bit on X. I don't know if you're not following me on X. It's by the way, it's at Jacob Israel 71 on X. I like X. I like it a lot, especially since the imperator of this realm, Elon Musk, is he runs it. It's a kooky place. I should be reaching a lot more people, but I'm not going to say anything because you know what? I'm probably going to be reaching a lot more people very shortly. I just got this vibe. You know, it's 2:20, 2:25. I got this vibe. So, Jeremy Boring, speaking of boring segues, he's done for the Daily Wire. He's kaput. This was like news. I guess it was yesterday. I can't even keep up with all the stuff that's happening. Yesterday, right? Yesterday. Take a look at this. I did a show about Jeremy Boring and how he'd be kaput. I did. It was like, God, it was exactly 2 years, 2 months ago, 22. Right? Let me show you. Yeah, I'm not making up stories. All right. There I am. Look at me, the goofball that I am. God saves the foolish things. He uses the foolish people, the goofy people, not the fools, just the people that, I don't know, don't get invited to barbecue. So now that the summer's coming, I expect some invites. All right. I expect some invites. So 2 years and 2 months ago, I did this video about Jeremy Boring Jeremy, and he was in a feud with Stephen Crowder. But you got to understand something. I started the day saying, are you ready for the portal being opened? I should show it to you. I'll see if I could pull up that picture. And I said, are you ready to see some of the mighty fall? And it was like, didn't take very long. And then here we are. And I write, how the mighty are fallen indeed. Jeremy Boring stepping down as CEO of The Real Daily Wire. And you can check out that video. It's a good video under the video section. And I said, that's a 22 Tav. Tav is basically the mark. It's found in Ezekiel. It's the X that you see, right? It's which becomes the cross in a roundabout way. But those that have the Tav, the 22, they're sealed off. So when the judgment comes, when the devil comes and he's loosed, it's not going to be good for the people that don't have that mark, right? That seal. They're going to be dealing because they got the other mark. They got the other seal. They don't want that one. You don't want that one. If you're on my channel right now, it's a good possibility you don't have that, all right? Because you wouldn't be able to stomach me, right? Is it just me? You wouldn't be able to stomach me unless you had a good heart and a good spirit and a good sense of humor. But the mighty have fallen. And man, have they fallen indeed. But everything's going to be all right for old Jeremy Boring. Everything's going to be all right for him. Now, do you know why I said that he needed to, why I thought this needed to be discussed, because the video was all about that they're supposed to be like a, I don't know, like a faith-based or a religious type of a network. They're like, religion's like a big thing over there, right? Candace with the Jesus is King, and now then she ends up leaving. Then you got Shapiro, but they, I talked about how you should just be like, yes is yes, no is no. You don't need these fancy schmancy contracts. If you're serving God and you're doing the right thing, you don't need to like have any finagling. Speaking of lawyers. So totally did Dan when she was driving me, not at fault. And we got, ambushed in this huge facility, which is like a $1 billion place. And you want to talk about like a suit that could be brought. Well, I want to kind of put it behind me. I want to kind of put the whole thing behind me. And I kind of just want to trust that God's going to work everything out. So, they're like, oh, you could sue your wife's insurance policy. You were the passenger. I'm like, oh, so I'm going to sue my wife. She didn't do anything wrong. They're like, no. It's not your wife's fault. It's just the insurance. It's there. I was like, nah, I don't need that. You know what? I'm going to deal with this tinnitus for the rest of my life. It's now I look at it as like a badge of honor, like the limp that Jacob walked away with. I don't look at it as like, I'm going to get the bag. I'm not going to get the cash back. I don't care about the money. I would, you think with how I would worried and all this and stressed out about everything, and you'd think that I'd probably be a little more focused on it. But the day that we're in, I think that we need to let go of these cares. So in any event, Jacob's like walking away from everything. It's going to be great. And I'll tell you all about it. It's good to do the right thing. You know what I mean? To be moral and upright. It's good to, I don't know if they were doing the right thing, because it was all about money with them. It was all about money. It was all about crazy contracts and everything else with them. And now he's gone, because he over leveraged a movie and did some other things. And I don't know. I'm not going to spend the rest of the show talking about him when you got dolphins assisting the birth of the dragon's children. I didn't say that. That was somebody else on X that I just started following today. Nikki, after being stuck in space for 9 months, astronauts Butch and Suni splashed down in the Gulf of America. I like how she called it Gulf of America. How funny is that? They were immediately greeted by dolphins, like dolphin-assisted birth. But this time, we have the dragon reborn. Oh, I like the way she's thinking, because it would be literally the dragon, the portal being opened, the dragon will be released for a short period of time to test and try and assist the living weed out of every one of you if you're not doing the right thing. But also Christ would be birthed in this time. This 1,000-year reign of Christ. This is going to be, this is like the end of it all. This comes on the heels of it. We're going to get into it because it's connected to Revelation. But I found, the birth angle, I think was pretty cool. But you'll never believe the connections to this, what now seems to be a ritual. Perhaps it was a ritual of the dragon being birthed in the world, if you will, and Christ being birthed in the world. This is the thought that comes to me, because I like to think about interesting things. And then I go and I pull at that thread. I'm like, okay, Lord, where did that thought come from? Let me take a look. And I think, let me look at the names. Let me look at their names and let me see what their names mean. Let me see if it has to do with the portal. The door of Christ being opened and the door of judgment and the books being opened. And I looked at the names. Yeah, and it's connected. It's connected. It's connected. It's connected in a freaky way. Should I just tell you? Should I tell you? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to tell you. You ready? So the two astronauts, okay, so you have one, her name is Suni. You probably recognize the word Sufi. There are Sufis in religion. They're like priests. It means wise. It means the one who wears woolen clothes. That's like a picture of Christ, just so you know. Just so you know. The way this one would be Sunni, that's the way, it's simple. Now, you know who else? Butch. Oh my goodness, Butch, right? And you're thinking, Butch? Well, that sounds like somebody I met last week with blue hair or something. And that's not what it means. Short for butcher. Do you know where the sheeps and the goats go? This is just nuts. The sheep go to everlasting pasture and they become the shepherd of the sheep. How about them apples? You enter into the portal, the door of Christ, you become the shepherd of the sheep. You become a shepherd. Just like Jacob. You have your sheep, your speckled sheep. But if you're the goats, in other words, and I'm not like saying goats are evil animals, it's a symbol, it's a metaphor. Goats go to the butcher. They go to the slaughterhouse. So here we got a picture of the wise one who's wearing woolen clothes and the butcher, birthed in the world at the same time. Who do you think does the sifting? Do you think it's a nice guy? Or do you think it's the guy that God chose to do the sifting? Who's in charge of the world right now? Are we going to pray for these people? I'm praying for them. Are we going to fault them for doing their job? Especially if it's dirty work, shadow work. Time to face that shadow, everybody. Got a lot of people here, and we only have a few likes. Wow. That's got to change. Come on. Smash the like. Let's get some more people here because it's going to get even more interesting very shortly. Butch and Suni, the astronauts. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore. So you're thinking, Jacob, last names, they're significant. Your last name isn't even your legal last name. Israel, that's not you. It's the name God inspired me to take. What can I say? It's me now, pal. Deal with it. Williams means the resolute protector. It's God, the protector of the sheep, the shepherd. You know what Wilmore means? More wolf, please. More wolves, please. It means wolves more. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore. The wise and the butcher. One for slaughter, one for gentle pasture. One protected, one attacked. This is what's birthed in the world. The U.S. astronauts that were stranded for how long? 9 months. 9 months is very symbolic. Birth is a symbolic thing. You know it. 9 months. Some say 40 weeks with a pregnancy. Let me show you what the book of Jeremiah says. But you know me, Lord. You could be doing that if you had like a bunch of people coming at you and attacking you, calling you all sorts of terrible things. You're like, but you know me, Lord. You know my heart. You see me. You tested me. You test my heart toward me. You drag me away. You drag away the wicked like sheep to the slaughter, Lord. And you set them apart for the day of carnage. Oh, God, this is the day we're in. It's really spooky. This is the day we're in. This is the day we're in. It's spooky. You drag the wicked away for the day of slaughter? The day of carnage? Oh, man. 9 months is a thing. I just did a show yesterday. You probably saw it, right? Am I doing okay? Are you enjoying the new flow since the portal show? Are you enjoying the flow? I even changed my disclaimer. Go check it out. Go into the description of the video, click more, Everything opens up, and you can support the channel there. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, please be a part. But 9 months has been a thing. I had like a couple of 9 months quinky dinky doos I shared just in my last video, because I said the door was open, the portal, and the gateway pastor turned himself into jail. And gateway is a portal, right? If they be corrupt, I did the video. If they be corrupt, and then exactly 9 months later, boom. If you haven't seen that show, check it out. That's a good show too. It was shorter. It was only 13 minutes and 13 seconds. And that wasn't done on purpose, I promise you. It really wasn't. It just freaks me out when these things happen, you know? But 9 months, they're stranded in space. I mean, that's not a joke. This is like 100% what's going on. And now they're both here. And, well, it looks like Elon Musk's $43 billion more than Tesla now. I mean, like SpaceX is basically now, it's kind of like his big money maker. It's amazing. As I'm doing this right now, this thing just kicked into like major high gear. It's so strange when that happens. So strange. But the names, Suni, Butch, Williams, Wilmore, the Great Protector, Wolves more wolves. After 9 months, birth. This is something interesting. But you don't know how interesting yet, okay? I'm about to show you how interesting it gets. The 4 crew members were taken down, and they were received by the dolphins. Thank you very much for the super chat, 320. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is in the super chat, but thank you very much, whatever it is. It's a great number. Here's the thing. I did this whole show exactly 6 months and 6 days before this space thing went down. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, there's the post right there. And you probably see, I mean, come on, right? Doesn't that look very, very similar? Doesn't it look like she's descending at the VMA Awards on the capsule? I mean, they knew what was happening. They had to. Or this is just some real strange coincidence, you know? I mean, I just don't see how this could be ignored, considering you haven't even gotten the best part yet. Considering I did that show exactly. Hang on, what was? Let me show you. Here, saved. Rudy McGraw, thank you for the super chat. Saved 6 months, 6 days ago. I told you all about the astronaut ritual with SpaceX that started at 6 a.m. 666. And how the VMAs was connected to it. And it was also connected to Christ's manifestation. They came from outer space. 9 months, page 6. Now, I want to direct your attention, if you don't mind, this is where it gets cool, to the 666 on my thumbnail from 6 months, 6 days ago. What? Dana Brown, what? How is this even possible? That's God showing off for you. I told you the portal was opened, right? I told you you're going to start to see things. I told you I felt like my name was changed. Maybe it's time to speak a little more joyfully. Maybe we need to talk to the Lord. The donut factory's in the house. You want to talk about dolphins? You want to know about the dolphins? Go watch the donut show. My goodness gracious. How is this a thing? I do a video about the VMA's connection to this astronaut ritual. It is exactly 6 months, 6 days ago that I do this show. And there it is right there, because you see in the thumbnail, you see Jared Isaacman. That was when they shot the man and the woman up, remember? And she was playing the violin. And he did the first spacewalk in 50 years. You know who that guy is now? Just a coincidence, I guess. He was a billionaire. Now he's the head of NASA. Okay? NASA. Yeah. Yeah. So I did this whole video about this guy. You know when he became the head of NASA? 2 months, 22 days from my video. I know this because I told everybody how interesting it was. Who knew that 6 months, 6 days after my video about him and her and them exiting the capsule, and I compared it to like sperm. Take a look. Okay? Now you're starting to see how the dragon's being birthed in the world? You're starting to see the ritual? Doesn't it look like sperm coming out? It does. It's a family show. Come on, listen. It's okay. It's all right. I said that's what it was. I said something's being birthed. Here we are 9 months later. And the dolphin assistance, 9 months later, dolphin-assisted pregnancy? Come on. What are the odds? I said something was being birthed. Something's being birthed, right? I said, oh, take a look at this. Look at her, Sabrina. Doesn't that look like she's hanging on a swing? Like the thing was hanging from the swing? I'm a little excited about this. I'm a little excited about it. Now, why am I so excited? Because you know anybody else that could be like throwing up thumbnails like that, saying, oh, I'm calling a ritual. Something's going to be birthed 9 months later. They're birthed. 6 months, 6 days in between. Come on. And I got the 666 on the thumbnail from 6 months, 6 days before they came from outer space. I don't know what else to say. God's in charge. The books are open. You know what that means? It's going to be good for you if you've been a good person. It's going to be good for you. I want you to watch this because what are the odds? Here we go. Let me just pause this for a second. Adjust the volume. And let me bring this full screen for you. Just take a listen to this so you know I'm not making up stories. Doesn't that look kind of like... I mean, it does, right? Man was impregnating the space, and then 9 months later, well, it was actually six months, 6 days later, but take a listen to another live episode of Jacob's Ladder. I'm your host, Jacob Israel, and I have an out-of-this-world show prepared for all of you. That's right. There could be some kind of strange rituals that are going on down here in the world and out there in space, if it exists. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope that you have joined everyone else in smashing that like button so that more people can come. Take a look at this. SpaceX Dragon, man and woman, shot into space. This is a huge thing. Huge. This hasn't happened in like 50 years. 50. We've been talking about 50 for a while now, have we not? 50, that is the number of Jubilee. Freedom, my friends. Man, finally, has become like Luke Skywalker. Because that's where the astronauts left the SpaceX Dragon. The Dragon shot a man and a woman into space. And the day before that, what was going on at the VMAs was just a disgrace. I'm a poet, my friends, and I'm glad that you're here. I hope that everybody has their popcorn and they're holding it dear, because I'm telling you something. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm in a good mood, and this is a fun show. I mean, how could it not be? Take a look at the VMA stage. Hopefully I'm not like blowing your ears out with all of my excitement here. But look at the VMA stage. It's the Moon Man. And then right there, smack dab in the middle, we see the reporting from that soon-to-be Republican organization. Now, come on, right? I mean, look at that. That's crazy. And it's 6, I mean, come on, weird. There's the 666 on the, like, I don't even know why I did that. Oh, I do know why, because of Katy Perry, that's right. It's amazing to me that you see the 66, 6 months and 6 days from the launch. We got the Dragon's Kid, and we got Christ being birthed in the world. That, to me, is very, very exciting. I felt a lightness about me recently. You got to understand something. I carry a burden for a long time. I was the woe is me guy for a long, long time. Haven't had it easy. I used to love thinking to myself, I used to say, oh Lord, he's a man of many sorrows. But now, I don't know, after that dream, I know what to do at the door now. If you haven't seen that show on the portal opening up, you should see it. Weird, 3 days later, right? And McDonald's is talking about Grimace's portal. Strange stuff. But you know what's stranger? Is the fact that I sit here every day and I look at things. This is how Grok sees me. And what I see is Elon Musk saying, I'm cleaning up the dead people database. The books of the dead have been opened. Let me say that again. Follow me. Cleaning up the dead people database. When the devil comes down to sift you like wheat, Peter, hang in there, kiddo. Just cleaning you up. But the gates of hell shall not prevail over you, because I'm giving you power over those gates. That means you too. You could be like a miserable, terrible person and watching this for the first time. Say, Lord, help me. Just ask God. You don't got to go anywhere. You don't got to read a book. Now do the right thing. That voice is in your head. It's birthed in the world. You got the lies and you got the truth. You know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. You know when you're doing something and it's wrong. You can tell when you get out of your peace. Get into the peace, baby. Find your zone. Find your zone. Because the books of the dead, well, they're open. I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and the books were open. Another book was open, though. What? 2 books? 2? Sunni and Butch? A wise person dressed in wool. A Sufi, a priest. And the butcher. Portals open. Today I put before you, my friends, life and death. Choose life. Because that book's open today too. You don't believe me? Read it. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged according to what they had done as recorded in the books. That's a database. Books are open. That's in, hang on a second, that's in Revelation 20. I should have had this prepared. It's in Revelation 20. Let me just read this to you. This is, by the way, in Revelation 20, it talks about when God breathes life back into the witnesses that were put to death, that they had their heads cut off, right? Doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're... It could also mean something else. Your joy's been cut off. Your life's been cut off. Your voice has been cut off. But God's going to breathe life into you when that portal opens. And that door has opened for everybody. It's right here. Let me read this. I saw thrones and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witnesses for the witness of Jesus, witness of Christ, and for the word of God. Your word, O Lord, is truth. A witness for Christ and a witness for truth. I saw them. They were beheaded. They were terrible. They were miserable. They were down. But I saw them which had not worshipped the beast. I saw them that did not worship the beast's image. That would be like the Grimace. Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived. And they reigned with Christ 1,000 years. 1,000 years. Devil sifts like wheat. Christ leads the sheep. It's a picture. And I saw them that were beheaded. I saw them that were walking around with no joy. Those that didn't take the mark of the beast, that weren't hateful. What ends up happening? They rule and reign with Christ. And I saw a great white throne. This is Revelation 20:11. And him that sat on the throne, from whose face the earth and the heavens fled away. And there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. And the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged according to the things that were written in the books, according to their works. How long have I been saying to all of you, get your house in order, get your act together, be a productive member of society, be a good citizen, be a good neighbor, be a good friend, be a good person, be good. I've been telling everybody, because you're going to be judged according to your works. Now, changed heart, that's something. And the sea gave up the dead that were in it. The sea, by the way, is man, all of mankind. So the system, the world that's trapped the dead, they're giving up the dead. The sea is giving up the dead. This is for the judgment, okay? This is the time for everybody. The sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. So they're in the sea, but they're in hell and they're in death. Miserable people. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. Hell was destroyed. Death, to be carnally minded is death in Scripture, was destroyed in the lake of fire. Who do you think that is? The lake of fire. It's a haven. A fire. Christ is a consuming fire. I saw that the sea gave up the dead. They gave up the dead. And death and hell was cast into the lake of fire, seasoned with salt, salted as with fire. It's about purification. Whoever, listen to this, was not found written in the book of life was cast into it. That's a good thing, because the fire is going to burn away death and hell and the devil and the false prophet and the Antichrist and the beast. The portal's open. What's set before you? Life and death. It's in the stars, if there are stars. And here we have yet another show that explain it. Explain it. Explain it to me. Birth. Something's here. Something's happening. And I'm excited about it. And I hope you are too. I love you all. I don't think I can do anymore. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. You know? I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Would you do me a favor? Would you share the channel around? Get involved. Hey, don't use toxic free stuff. All of this stuff helps, by the way. There's a link in the description, trulyfreehome.com. Shop, get stuff that's good for you. Save 30% off by using code Jacob. This is great stuff. You know, you don't got to worry about, you spray it in your food. You don't got to worry about your pets. When you're putting on your clothes, you're not like you use the laundry soap and the dishwashers. Use code Jacob, you get 30% off. Get some of the merch. Do what you can, whatever you can. Patreon, PayPal, anything. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, especially if this has been something that's been helpful to you. All right, I gotta go. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Mandela Effect video. Listen, I wanted to do it today. I wanted to do it yesterday, but all these things keep popping up. You know, I got to keep up with what I feel, you know, God's inspiring me to say. All right, I love each and every one of you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Another good show. God is good.